And inshallah, that's the voice of our That's the voice of our own mission, the CM NASFAT. Jazakallah khairan Daddy for being with us. Inshallah, we'll go to the next program. We don't want to waste much of our time because this is a virtual program. We have so much in stock today. I will welcome all the participants. Inshallah, we'll go to the next program, which is the opening speech by the NASFAT Women Secretary, Ala-Aja Suweba Kolati. Let's have your opening speech, inshallah.
Thank you very much, my dear sister. All protocol duly observed. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I warmly welcome you all of NASFAT to this one of the programs for the 21st Annual Women's Week celebration, which actually started yesterday. Today, we're going to have two health professional and senior consultants in the public sector will deliver today's health lectures for us. The first topic is enjoying maximum health amidst the pandemic by our sister, Dr. Mazida Eniosho. And the second topic lecture is understanding cancer in women by our Services Secretary, Dr. Ajibola Bakari. We'll listen to both of them on why it is important to focus on women's health issues. I wish all a beautiful evening with us, and I wish that we will all benefit from this special lecture given to us today. Thank you all, sisters in the house, and thank you so much for listening. God bless you. Have a lovely lecture with us and enjoy your evening with us. Thank you so much. Bye.
Inshallah, thank you so much, the number one woman of NASFAT, Ala-Aja Suweba Kolati. Thank you so much for that short and inciting speech. Inshallah, we are going to the next program, which is the lecture. Before we do the lecture, we have to introduce the lecturer for today. This is a special person, someone of high caliber. The person is Dr. Mrs. Masida Akorede Eriosho. She is a director and also the 7 Million Lives Program Manager, Lagos State Ministry of Health. She is a public health practitioner of over 10 years. She has anchored various maternal and child health programs in Lagos State. She is an advocate of healthy lifestyle. She is also the founder of Alfreda's Save His Soul Foundation, an NGO which focuses on reaching out to orphans and vulnerable children in the society with the sole aim of giving them a new lease of life. Allahu Akbar. Dr. Masida is a member of Medical Guide of Nigeria, Nigeria Medical Association, Association of Public Health Practitioners, as well as Medical Women Association of Nigeria. Alaja Masida is the first Muslimah who loves to touch lives and make positive impact. I'm sure today she's going to do a justice to the topic given to her, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you for this first lecture, Dr. Mrs. Masida Eriosho.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
It's my pleasure to be here. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah.
Welcome, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I wish us all a fruitful NASFAT Women's Week, and it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. Alhamdulillah for Islam that has binded us together, and I wish all Muslim women, all members of NASFAT's women all over the globe, a fruitful and fulfilling Women's Week. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me?
Can hear you loud and clear, ma. Go on, ma.
All right, thank you so much. So without much ado, I will go to the topic of the day, which basically is enjoying optimal health amidst the pandemic. We all know that the pandemic has taken its toll on everybody, not only women, on every individual in the globe. Nigeria, we have our own peculiarity in terms of it has taken its toll on the economy, it has taken its toll on our health, it has taken its toll on our lifestyle. And invariably, we need to maximize as much as possible. We all know that COVID-19 is a new normal, meaning that it has actually transformed the way we do things, our lifestyle, amongst others. But by and large, as women basically had a vulnerable group as well as children. We must try as much as possible, even amidst the pandemic, that we utilize it to the utmost. And please, let me stress here before I begin the lecture that COVID-19 is still with us. And as we all know, you recall that the Honorable Commissioner for Health had actually alerted us that a second wave is imminent, and we still continue as much as possible to take responsibilities. Taking responsibilities in terms of ensuring that all the safety protocols, I see now that even when you go out, even you realize that people are actually thrown caution to the wind in terms of they don't wear the face masks. Please and please, I will enjoin us. As women, we are custodian of our homes. We should try and imbibe that culture so that whatever we imbibe as the Muslima, we will be able to translate it to our husband as well as our children. And children, we know they learn a lot from we mothers because they see us as our role models. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us. So without much ado, I'll go on to enjoying the topic of the day, which is enjoying optimal health amidst the pandemic. Now, these are the outlines. What exactly is the meaning of health, the importance of good health? What are the benefits of a healthy lifestyle? What are the causes of ill health? And what are the ways of maintaining health? Now, the COVID-19 pandemic, which is a new normal, it has come. We pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should save us from this. And for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have actually sustained us this far, we as much as possible should try as much as possible to play our own parts, especially as the Muslim woman. Maintaining health and optimal productivity amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. By way of introduction, as we all know, the WHO definition of health, that's the World Health Organization, which say that health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. When we say somebody is healthy, it doesn't translate to that the person doesn't have any form of illness. So it's a complete physically the person is up and about. You have people that you can even be up and about, but at the same time not being healthy. What about the state of the mind, the mental status of that individual? It's very important, as well as the social well-being. We realized that during the COVID-19 pandemic had actually affected the economy. It had affected the way we spend, it had affected our lifestyle. It actually took its toll on the economy. We all know that the revenue as the country had actually is dwindling. Even in the homes, we have actually adjusted our budget. That is talking as an individual. I'm sure the same thing applies to most of us here. Now, what is the importance of good health? Good health, as we all know, is crucial to our well-being, to everything we do in our daily lives. If we're not healthy, we won't be able to go out to earn a living. If one is not in a good state of mind, it affects whatever we do in our workspace, in the home space, and even in our relationship with fellow individuals. Good health is a priceless blessing to life. The famous saying that health is wealth highlights the importance of good health in our life. Good health is also necessary to carry out daily tasks, like I said earlier. When we are doing our chores as Muslim women at home, if we're not healthy, we are actually just confined to the bed. I am tired, I can't do anything. So health is something we cannot overlook. Now with the COVID-19 pandemic, it's a new normal, and it's actually telling us that we need to do things differently to achieve a better outcome, especially in maintaining a healthy lifestyle. An healthy individual can pull through large amounts of work in a short time. There is the phrase of multitasking. If we're healthy, if we're in the right frame of mind, if we are mentally alert, as well as we have that physical being, we are able to move about without having any form of illness. We're able to actually achieve so much within a short time frame. All this enables us to get going in our daily living. At the same time, we'll be able to manage our homes well as Muslim women, and such that we're able to have a work-life balance. That is working as a Muslimah in the home front as well as in the workspace. What are the benefits of a healthy lifestyle? You can stay energetic by living a moderately healthy lifestyle. You will be a lot more energetic, living life with a lot of vigor. Those are the benefits of being healthy. You have a clean bill of health. Studies have shown that people who eat healthy and exercise are less susceptible to diseases. So you are actually what you eat. Whatever we eat translates to her eating healthy. We must try and imbibe that healthy eating in our spouse, on our children, to ensure that they actually imbibe a culture of living healthy. It's so important. As parents, we should actually discourage our words as well as our husband from eating junks. We should imbibe them to take a lot of fruits and vegetables. It's very healthy. Reducing our fat intake, it gives us a clean bill of a healthy lifestyle. It also makes us to be more confident. When you have been living a healthy life for a long time, we feel good about ourselves. In a situation where one is not in the right frame of mind, even if we are physically healthy but not in the right frame of mind, the confidence is not there, and it actually affects our daily living. Whatever we do, it translates to that. So we should try as much as possible. Those are the benefits of a healthy lifestyle. In addition, we are more emotionally stable. When the body doesn't feel good, the mind doesn't care. Good health boosts release of serotonin, which is a happy hormone. When we are healthy, we're emotionally stable, we are physically balanced, it actually enhances the release of this serotonin, which basically is a happy hormone. We radiate from inwards outward, and people see us that, what's the secret of your looking radiant? Is actually in a state of physical being, a mental well-being, as well as a social well-being. And it also makes us to be more productive. More productive in the sense that we have a balanced lifestyle. It keeps your mind clear, your body is fit and generally ready to take on the day's work with alacrity. That is brisk and cheerful readiness. What are the causes of ill health? I said earlier that there are various causes. One of them is eating healthy. You are actually what you eat. I'm sure all of us are actually familiar with that phrase. But there are other various causes. You have pathogenic factors. Pathogenic meaning you have infections. It could be bacterial infections. It could be viruses. For example, COVID-19 is one of the causes of ill health. Since we're talking staying healthy amidst the pandemic, it has come to stay. It's a new normal, and it's a new virus that is actually ravaging the whole world. And we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will save us from this pandemic. And at the end of the day, we'll have every cost to thank him on high. Food and diet, we are what we eat, like I said. And if we eat healthy, we'll stay healthy. We could actually be disciplined in terms of what we eat. Imbibing the habit of eating well, breakfast, I will enjoin us, is the most important meal of the day. Even if we are not eating anything, I will enjoin us as women to try and take our breakfast. One, it makes us to be alert. You are able to get ready for the day. Even for our children, we should try and imbibe that culture. I see that some parents actually, they get to eat and buy junks for these children when going to school. Please and please, as mothers, we should discourage these habits. We should have our tight schedule before we leave home, ensure that we actually prepare good meal for these children. Let it be in their lunch pack, as well as for our husbands, because that might be the only meal they are able to take before they come back from school or even back from work. That is the most important meal of the day. And we must ensure that the breakfast is adequate and balanced. I will explain that as we go on. Stress, emotions is a big cause of ill health. And we realized that stress could actually make or mouse. It's been found scientifically. If we're too stressed, if we're not in the right frame of mind, yes, challenges will come. We don't actually say problems. They are actually challenges, which with the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if we are focused, we are prayerful, it will come naturally as human beings because we are saddled with so much. But we try as much as possible not to allow them to weigh us down. Because you see people just walking on the streets, they are actually distant. You see a lot of people, they are walking on the street, but they are like a walking corpse because their mind is not settled. They have a lot bottled up within them. And I must say here that women are actually more prone to having depression. Why? Is because basically of our threshold and our genetic makeup than the men. And you realize some women actually have bad instances when some women will call me that, oh, doctor, please keep praying for me because she feels she wants to commit suicide. And I actually have to calm them down, do a lot of psychological counseling because I realize some of these women, what we shoulder as women takes its toll on us. The home fronts, especially if the home front is not settled. These are things we need to look at. We try as much as possible to leave to put checks and balances in the way we handle the stresses that we go through. Is it the stress in the home front? Is it the stress at the workplace? Such that if you're able to manage them, we don't allow them to weigh us. Yes, they will come naturally, but we try as much as possible not to let it weigh us down because if you allow that, one, it affects us psychologically, it affects us in the home front, it affects our output at work. And at the end of the day, even translate, the children doesn't even have
Dr. Masida, if I can hear me, I guess we're having a network problem. We seem to have lost Dr. Masida. It seems there's a network problem here. Doctor, are you there? I think there's a network issue with our doctor. Can you please, Alaja Kolas, can you please unmute yourself? It seems you're having a network issue with yourself.
Okay. Okay, salam alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh. Can you enable your video, or do we have another expert that can stand in, fill in for her until we have her back? So I can't just, since there's an issue with our network.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm trying to get across to her to know what is happening at her hand. I'm trying to get across to her to know what is happening at her hand. I'm home.
Okay, ma.
Definitely an internet problem.
I want to suggest if you have Alaja Salatina.
I'm on.
Okay.
I'm on.
Can you take up the lecture or is that?
Can you just carry on with something about the lecture?
I can't take up the lecture for pineapple.
Okay, so what do you do now?
Can we please unmute Alaja George?
Okay.
Alaja George.
Okay, the host, can you please help us to unmute Alaja George?
Laptop.
And please, for the rest of us that are not talking, can we please mute ourselves? Only Elijah George is expected to be unmuted now.
Hello, salam alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yeah, but unfortunately, we don't have a presentation. Maybe going forward, we'll be asking for presentations so that at least wherever they stop, somebody can help them take it.
But basically, we know we don't have the presentation. Based on your experience as an ex practitioner, you can just advise us for a while. If we can get back to her, fine. If not, at least we'll know. We won't just be waiting.
May I suggest, am I on? Can you hear me? Elijah Falami is speaking.
Okay.
Okay.
May I suggest that, Assalamu alaikum. May I suggest that since Elijah Bakari is there and she's the second lecturer, can she just begin her lecture and then if she comes on, she can complete her own? Would that does that make any logical sense?
Well,
Okay,
that might be the best in this situation, yes.
Okay. Ma, Alaja Kukolati, do you give us a go ahead for this? All right, inshallah, I will.
Is she, or you just want me to take, Dr. Bakari is ready. What has what did the NWS say?
Suggesting that Dr. Bakari should take her own lecture if she's there with us already.
I think I heard you saying that you want to ask from Alaja Kukolati.
There's no need to ask Alaja
Yes.
Kukolati.
Salam alaikum. I have said that Alaja George should kindly tell us something on COVID while we're trying to connect with the other lady.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. So, Alaja George, you can hear that, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Something.
Yeah, thank you for bringing me in. I just a few things about COVID, and I don't think I want. I'm sure we all know what COVID is. Presently, the way it has been going on, I'm sure we are saying now that we are in the second wave, because I know that as at 20th of this month, I was on the page of the Honorable Commissioner and I found out that we had about 69 cases on the 20th. So that means that we are, so to say, in the second phase, because for some time had lesser cases. And so if it's rising, it's like the cases are now rising. So that's telling us that, yes, we are entering into the second phase. And the prevention, so to say, is not so different from what we have been doing before. But I think more importantly is for us to let us know that COVID-19 presents in individuals differently. The fact that somebody had it and he only had a headache, or he only had this, or it was only sore throat, it does not mean that is the outcome for everyone. I'm sure we have also seen that in the way people had succumbed to the illness, those who had died, and those who came out after serious illness, those who were hospitalized, those who were in coma. A lot of things had happened. And we also know that one of the things that has also been one of the factors that we have been looking out in the outcome of the disease is actually comorbidities. That is when people have some other diseases, underlying diseases like hypertension, like diabetes, like the cancers, or some other diseases that actually affect the immune system of individuals. So people are likely to come out in different ways. And that is why it is important that we all take our health very serious and we take the medical advisory very serious, because we don't know the outcome. Your staying alive is dependent on a lot
She's
of
back.
factors.
She's back, ma.
Okay,
She's back, ma.
Okay, so
She apologized that she did not even know she was not with us then, since.
okay.
It was due to the network.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. We now have Dr. Masida back. Dr. Masida, you're welcome back. We'll appreciate if you can run off your program now within the next 10 minutes, inshallah. Dr. Masida, are you there?
Hope she's not muted. Can check her. Hope she's
not even know that she was not around.
Kindly help us to unmute her if she's muted. Okay, can I let you? I'm not seeing Alaja Masida here. Maybe she's okay. She's here.
Can you see her in the?
I can see her here. Can the host please kindly make her a co-host or a panelist? She's among the
Not
participants.
even know that she was off.
Okay,
she was just speaking on.
Okay, the host should please make her one of the panelists. She's among the attendees, please. Can we make her a panelist so that she can join us and speak? I think that has been done, so we can have her now. Thank you so much. So Alaja Masida, you're welcome back.
She's muted. She's muted. Can she unmute?
She should be.
Tell her to unmute herself, or the host will unmute her.
Can you kindly help us to unmute Alaja Masida so that we can continue with the lecture? Our time is fast spent. Okay, Alaja Masida, you can unmute yourself now.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, you can hear you loud and clear.
Alhamdulillah. Can you hear me?
Of course we can.
Yes, thank you so much. I apologize for that. I guess it was the network itch, because I just realized I was unmuted at some point. Yes, so ways of it. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Ways of it, so learn to relax and rest well. No matter what we go through, we should try as much as possible to relax and rest well. COVID-19 pandemic on a level that we had never seen before, most likely had never planned. And there's been over 1.8 million cases worldwide, as at the time I sent in this presentation. And the figure keeps going, skyrocketing. In Nigeria, there has been over 64,000 reported cases with over 1,000 deaths. Common symptoms include, which could mimic malaria, fever, dry cough, tiredness, sore throats, diarrhea, loss of taste or smell, as well as conjunctivitis. Now, how do we prevent? I said earlier, we should learn to take responsibility. If you feel unwell, it's advocated that one should stay at home and do your temperature check or go and see a doctor if unwell. When we sneeze or cough, there's the coughing and sneezing etiquette. It's very important. We don't just sneeze or cough into the open air, because when we do this, we release a lot of droplets. And I think this is one culture we've learned to invert since this pandemic came into limelight. And when we sneeze and cough into a tissue, we should try as much as possible to dispose them properly. Ensure hygiene. Hygiene is very important. Keep premises clean and pest-free. Keep toilets clean and dry, because it's also been found that there could be some form of transmission, even from feces. So it's advisable that if you use a restroom, somebody use a restroom before you, try as much as possible to wait for at least about 10 minutes before you go into the same restroom. And when you enter the restroom, when you want to flush the toilet, the closet, let's try as much as possible to close the lid when we flush. Reason is, when you open the lid while flushing the toilet, you release a lot of these droplets. They settle on surfaces in the restroom. And this is a source of infection. So that is one culture we should try and imbibe. Closing the water closet when we are flushing the toilet. Hand washing, the importance of hand washing can never be overemphasized. We should try as much as possible to ensure that we wash our hands regularly. Hand sanitizers, if soap and water is not available, hand sanitizers are a stopgap. And once we get to a place where soap and water is available, we should wash our hands and also imbibe that culture in our husbands as well as our children. It is very key. It's so important. I'm glad some of my mommies are here. Mrs. George is here. She has taught us the culture of hand washing when she was in service, and it's still something she does on a daily basis. So I want to thank you all for listening. Thank you for your attention. Hello?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I'm done.
Okay, alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbil Alameen. Thank you so much, Dr. Masida Akorede Ratio, for that wonderful lecture. This is an eye-opening. We appreciate you. May Allah continue to enrich you in knowledge. May He continue to use you for His good work, inshallah. We all listen to you and we enjoy your lecture. We got to know the benefits of healthy living. We have confidence, we'll be emotionally stable and more productive. You taught us the causes of sickness or unhealthy life and the prevention that we should take responsibility. We should rest a lot. And you even taught us the culture of using the toilet and hand washing as well. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Now, if you have any question, please leave it in the Q&A. We have 10 minutes for question and answer. I hope Palaja is still very much with us. Yes. So let's have your questions. I think I have one here already. So please kindly leave your questions here. Okay, we have one question here. Alaja, can you hear? We said, Assalamu alaikum. Please, what would you advise to do when using toilet restroom that has no cover lid? Okay, so that's a question you advise us to use cover lid. So now that we are having a toilet that has no cover lid, what do we do?
Okay, ma'am. Can I take it now?
You can take it. That's the only question we have now.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Toilets without cover lid, that's a big one. And that basically is one question whenever I actually stress the need to close the closet when flushing the toilet. Oh, what of those of us that the toilet is not even flushing? Yes, the lid is there. If the lid is there, please get some water in the bucket. It's the one with a lid. If there's no lid, it is advisable that we should try and get a closet with a lid. It's important. And we are advocating that we should, because if the toilet is not with a lid, it's as good as doing an open defecation, which basically is a major source of transmission of infections. And this is something that should be highly discouraged. Government is looking into that to try and ensure that we reduce open defecation as much as possible. So for those homes that don't have a lid, it is advisable that they should get a closet with a lid. And even if the WC is not functional, that cannot flush on its own, yes, they should ensure that at least that closet has a lid. They can get water in a bucket and just open the lid and pour the water and cover immediately. Because when we just flush the toilet with the lid open, it leads to release of a lot of aerosols. That's the feces and the settle of surfaces. You could have some restroom with the bedroom in our home where those aerosols will now settle and the droplets rather. So the feces droplets will settle on surfaces of towels, of toothbrush, and all that. So it's basically to imbibe that healthy culture to ensure that we have a proper closet and prevent open defecation as much as possible, because these are major sources of transmission of infection. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. We still have a few minutes for question and answer. Please, if you have question and answer, I can see some answers here, but basically this, I see my mommy Alaja Fauzia Oladoja and Alaja Fatima Adekola, but the instruction here is that we should send our question to the Q&A to save time. So we still have more questions, or we can just call on Alaja Aziz Salaudin to help us to appreciate our lecturer for today, Alaja Masida Akorede, for this wonderful eye-opening lecture. Okay, we have one here. I think we have a question here now. Okay, salam alaikum. How best would you advise our younger mothers on supporting the family in helping to mitigate the effects of COVID-19 economic hardship in the family? That's in that question. So this is talking about the effect of COVID-19 on our family economy. Doctor, can you answer that, please?
Okay, thank you, Ma. What I'll advise our young mothers basically is to ensure that they are empowered, because gone are those days where you look at the economy for the advent of COVID-19. We realize that a lot of these young mothers are actually out for white collar jobs, but these white collar jobs are not there. So what I do advocate, especially for the girl child, is to ensure that you at least acquire one skill. The skill you acquire will actually get you to places. Once you are focused on that skill, whatever interest you have for, is it catering that you have an interest in? Is it hairdressing? Because you realize now that even before the advent of COVID, the Yoruba people say "Kafe Pimo" to ensure that we're able to nurture these children. Gone are those days when we leave our husbands to do everything. Even before the advent of COVID-19, the economy has not been friendly. When the COVID-19 now came, it actually worsens the whole scenario. So as the woman at home, we must ensure that we have something doing. And in terms of skill acquisition, there are various acquisition centers that Lagos state government actually have in the different localities that we can even learn. Once we acquire this skill and we are good at what we do, we realize that the sky is just the beginning. You are empowered to be, you need to get something doing as that young woman is just starting to raise a family. Because if we're able to do that, it actually augments or complements what the husband, basically do to support the home. Because we are supposed to be the custodian of our homes. And if we are idle, we don't have anything doing. It tends to so on the home front. What if the man doesn't even, it's not every time we expect our husbands to bring money. There are some basic things you even need as a woman, you know, that you don't need to ask your husband. But if you are empowered and you have something doing, is it a form of petty trading you want to do? Is it some skills you have acquired? Is this some baking you're doing? That's what you have shown interest in. If we're able to get empowered and we are engaged to be doing something, one, as the woman, it prevents you from having depression because you are not thinking, oh, what are these children going to eat today? Because you have something doing and you're able to fend for these children, even without the husbands, giving some support as a Wendy. You're able to at least pushing the effects for the husband at home. And it's so important. I enjoy women, especially the younger ones, to think outside the box and do something different apart from the degree that they require. Because gone are those days that the white collar jobs are not there, so we need to be realistic. Even before COVID-19 came, the economy has not been so friendly. COVID-19 came and it actually worsens the whole scenario. So we must actually ask ourselves, beyond the salary I'm earning, I think I should acquire more skills so that at least we can have checks and balances in running the home. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Masida. We appreciate you. May I now invite Alaja Aziz Salaudin, the chairperson for the subcommittee that organized this program, to help us appreciate Dr. Masida Akorede for this wonderful lecture, ma'am. Alaja Salaudin, ma. Alaja Salaudin, can we have you?
Can you please unmute her?
Okay. I thought she was actually unmuted earlier. You can unmute yourself now, ma.
Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
You can hear me. Okay. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hello, ma. On behalf of all the organs of Nasrullah Al-Fatih site of Nigeria and our chief hosts, Alaja Bola Joko Suebat Kupolatima, on behalf of all our coordinators, 1, 2, and 3, and all the women of Aljana throughout the world, we are happy to appreciate our sister for these contributions towards Women's Week. We appreciate her a lot. We cannot just but pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue to meet her at all her needs. May Allah accept all her contributions. Because like you know, she's not just coming for our Women's Week alone. If you call her for our youth program as well, she's already every time to attend us for all our NASFAT programs. So we pray Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you abundantly, my sister, with multiple blessings. May Allah grant all your heart's requests. And may Allah continue keeping you for Islam. And whatever you lay your hands, may Allah put barakah, inshallah. We say Jazakumullah khairan, my sister. I'm believing that next time when we call upon you, you will continue to answer the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We say thank you, our sister. Jazakumullah khairan once again. And we wish you happy night rest, inshallah.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Dr. Masida.
Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure.
I appreciate you. Yeah, and Alaja Saladin, thank you so much for appreciating our sister. We see our 5 minutes to the second lecture, and I want to quickly use the opportunity to recognize the presence of my mothers in the house. I can see Alaja Ozia Oladoja, the mama, that's third generation ago, Women's Secretary of NASFAT. I saw my mommy, Alaja George, who came to our rescue when we lost Alaja Dr. Masida to network program. Network. Alaja, I can also see Alaja Gania Trovalola, and my mommy, Alaja Nafisa Arogudade. You are all welcome. I can see many of us here. Thank you for being part of this program. You are all appreciated. Alaja Fulani, thank you so much. My mommy, Alaja Sadia Onike, we appreciate you all for being part of it. All the women's secretary here present, all the health secretaries here present, both at the zona and the branch level, you are all appreciated. Thank you so much for being part of this program. May Allah reward you all abundantly. Alaja Mahmouda Akorede, the NASFAT Zonsu Health Secretary, you are highly appreciated. Thank you so much for your presence. MKO Abiola, Alaja Baderewa, you are all appreciated. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being part of today's wonderful program. We appreciate you. So, having said that, I want to believe that the second lecturer is here. Though we still have more time, but it's a good thing you can make good use of our time. So it will save us more time. We all know if you have questions, we can always put it in the Q&A section. We promise to attend to that, inshallah. So I want to see the address of the chairperson, Alaja Asisa Salaudin. So should we go to the second lecture?
Bismillah, Bismillah, ma. If there are no other questions for Dr. Masida, since we already
there are no questions for now.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Okay, so
if there's any other question, we can answer the question as well. If they are,
okay, then may I seek your indulgence? We have 2 people who have been raising their hands since we still have time, do I take them? Because we actually asked that we're not going to be taking oral or this question. Yes. So what do we do?
No problem, ma. You can take them.
Okay, inshallah. So I have I earlier had Alaja Fozia Oladoja, but I think she has dropped her. And I have Alaja Fatima Adekola Bello. Please, you have 1 minute to make your submission, ma. Alaja Fatima Adekola Bello. Can you please unmute Alaja Fatima Adekola Bello? Do we have Alaja Fatima Adekola Bello? Please, can you make your... Can you unmute yourself, please, and make your submission, ma'am? You've been asked to unmute yourself. Okay. She doesn't seem to be ready for us. She has been asked to unmute, but I'm not sure if she's ready for us. So,
please, ma, can we continue with the next lecturer? That we just introduce our next lecturer. Will start because of time.
The second lecture is titled. The second lecture is going to be taken, inshallah, by Alaja Dr. Mrs. Rukoya Bakari. Alaja Rukoya Bakari is a present ex-secretary for NASFAT. She was born on 5th September 1966 in Ibadan, Oyo State, and she had a medical certificate from the University of Ibadan in 1990. Dr. Rukoya joined Lagos State Civil Service Fair Health Management Board in January 2000 as a medical officer. Her quest for further knowledge made her embark on postgraduate program in year 2007, and by 2015, she became a consultant pathologist, anatomic pathologist. She was thereafter posted to General Hospital Bagada after she completed a residency program in 2016 as consultant histopathologist of Lagos State. Presently, the only female consultant histopathologist under the Health Service Commission. Allah Akbar. She was head of pathology department in Bagada General between 2016-2017, where she rose in July 2017 as a Deputy Medical Director, General Hospital Bagada, a position she holds till date. Joined NASFAT in 1996 as one of the founding mothers of Welfare Committee and also Women Management Committee. Former Public Secretary, Medical Women Association of Nigeria, 2015 to 2017. Past Treasurer, Medical Women Association of Nigeria, 2017 to 2019. Cancer Coordinator for Medical Women Association of Nigeria, 2019 till date. Education Secretary, Ijayi Housing Muslim Association. She loves reading, driving, traveling, and dancing. And her vision is to become the first Nigerian woman president, mashallah. And her motto is, no.
Welcome, Ma.
Alaja Bakari, are you there? Please, is she unmuted already? Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good evening. ladies, women of Alijana. I greet you with the most proud greeting in the world. I say once again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I've been asked to present for this Women's Week program, Understanding Cancers in Women. I will start with the slide. My next slide, please. Next slide, my host. The outline. I will go briefly on what are cancers, general overview of cancers, etiologies to causes, epidemiologies to spread of cancers, how they manifest in the body, what to look out for, how to prevent, and if possible, I will touch on the treatment. My aim is not to make you a pathologist or a specialist in cancer, but to let you have the general knowledge of cancer. So I go now to cancers that are specific to women. Why are they unique to women? The prevention, treatment, conclusion, questions. And I will appreciate you all for listening to me. Next slide, please. By way of definition, cancers generally are diseases caused by uncontrolled proliferation of abnormal cells in any part of the body, with the potential to invade or spread to other parts of the body. That is the simplest way I can address it. They are diseases caused by uncontrolled multiplication. Proliferation means multiplication of abnormal cells in any part of the body, and they can be transported to other parts of the body. That's what we mean by invasion or spread. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. What are the causes of cancer? Generally, there is not one known cause of cancer. Not one known cause. But there are various predisposing or what we call risk factors. Next slide. Next slide, please. So these predisposing factors, they include but are not limited to family history. In fact, 10% of cases, some cancers are passed down from parents to their children. For this gathering, we are all women, and I'm sure there are some men with us. Let us have it in the back of our mind. If any of our parents dies of any form of cancer, for that matter, we are at risk of having cancer. Any grandparent, great-grandparent that we can trace that died from any form of cancer, be it breast, cervical, colorectal, liver cancer, any form of cancer for that matter. With the lineage, we are at risk of having cancer. Majority of cancers are also due to environmental factors, lifestyle factors which are largely preventable. Environmental stroke lifestyle factors are taken both together. So cancers have been linked to smoking, especially lung cancer. If you smoke consistently for a number of years, you are liable to have cancer of the lung and some other cancers, but then we know about lung cancers very well. Chronic alcohol consumption is no gainsay that it can lead to primary liver cell carcinoma, which is cancer of the liver. Too much weight, overweight, can also be a causative agent. Poor diet, diets that are more in some forms of nutrients than the other, that are deficient in some nutrients, can also cause cancer. Also, lack of physical activity. If you stay in one place for too long, you don't do exercise like I do by dancing all the time in the house, by singing, by strolling, you get overweight, very overweight. It can be a predisposing, I say predisposing factor. Predisposing factors are factors in our body that are liable for us to have cancer. It is not as if all the time it leads to cancer, but it is we are at risk if these factors are with us. Age. Cancer is to a great degree a disease of the elderly, and age is just a very important factor in cancer development. A very good example is cervical cancer. The predisposing factor gets to the body when you are young, but it manifests after 15 to 25 years. So by that time, you are over 40. So the more you advance in age, the higher the possibility of you having cervical cancer generally. However, individuals of any age, including the very young children, can be stricken with cancer. Some children are born with it. They have some neuroblastoma, a lot of some diseases that they manifest in children. So it's not as if it is 100% you are old, you have cancer. But there are few cases that we can have cancer in children. I will not bother with the statistics and the figures. Let us just know that it is possible to have cancer in children. Next slide, please. In the United States of America, which is our yardstick, most striking increase is seen in persons between the ages of 55 and 75 years. That is further trying to tell us that cancer increases with age. And I'm sure most of us listening today, we are in this age range. So we should endeavor to follow the preventive measures, whether we have it or not. And when you see a decline in cancer mortality in persons older than 75 years, it simply reflects the lower number of such persons in that population. That means if you have more of youth in the population, you are expected to see a lower number of deaths from age 55 to 75. If age 55 down, they are on the curve of a population. That means this postulate will not work. You will have a fewer people because they are not that much in that population. Deaths from cancer are on the rise worldwide. WHO projected 13.1 million people globally will die from cancer in 2030. There is decrease in deaths in some climes, and this can be reduced to success in therapy and prevention. Next slide, please. How do they manifest in the body? Cancers are silent killers. Just know that they are silent killers. In most cases, by the time you can feel a tumor, that is a swelling in your body, the cancer has progressed or advanced. They can come in form of a lump, especially in breast cancer. The lump can be painless. They can come and present with bleeding, especially in cervical and endometrial cancer. They can present with alteration in bowel habits. That means you have a loose stool and a solid stool. Within a day, you are going to the toilet, loose stool, then later your stool is solid. That is, the bowel habit is altered. This is very important in colorectal cancer. So once we start, we should see our health professional. A knowledge of these cancers and what can be done to prevent or detect early when they are small and haven't spread may help to save lives, which is why we are here today. We want to live to 90 to 100 years. May Allah make it possible for us. Amen. Next slide. Please. So what are the preventions? They are very easy. From the causes, you can just adduce the prevention. They are straightforward. Smoking causes cancer, do not smoke. Taking alcohol in excess causes cancer, do not take alcohol. I'm sure the group I'm talking to, they don't engage in smoking and we don't engage in alcohol injection. Regular exercise. It can prevent cancer if we do it regularly, if we exercise our body regularly, whichever way, we should take responsibility for our health by going for health checkups. We should go for regular screening exercise, especially if you have a family history of cancer. We should also try to check overweight. Next slide, please. Cancer specific to women. So these are cancers that manifest in women due to presence of special organs in our body that perform special functions. We have the breast, which is also in the man, but in woman, in us, we perform the physiological function of lactation. We have the cervical cancer, which is due to the organ called cervix that is only present in women. We have the endometrial cancer, which is cancer of the lining of our uterus or womb, as we call it. We have the ovarian cancer, which is cancer due to the organ that produces egg in the womb, in the ovary. We have other cancers that are not unique to women, but can occur in women. Some of these cancers occur more in women than in men. But then, I will not deal into those. For the purpose of this discussion, I will talk about breast cancer, cervical cancer, and if time permits, endometrial cancer and ovarian cancer. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So I want to talk on breast cancer. Although breast cancer is found in breast is found in both sexes, but it performs a special function in women. In women, and hence this physiological function makes it at risk to women. Male breast cancer too is quite possible, but it is most common cancer in women globally. Breast cancer is the most commonest cancer in women worldwide. It can occur at any age, though risk of breast cancer gets higher as age advances. Of course, like I said before, it runs in families. Other risk factors are enumerated, like smoking, alcohol ingestion. They all mitigate towards breast cancer. Anatomic position of the breast help to ensure accessibility. Last slide, come back. Help to ensure accessibility, and hence the basis of screening for breast cancer. The breast is located in the anterior chest wall, close to the bone, the rib cage. I won't bother with too much anatomy. We can see, we can touch, we can feel our breast. Hence, the basis for preventive measures globally. Also, breast cancer is easier to treat because of the position. Next slide, please. Next slide. Screening possibilities. I go straight to screening possibilities. That's why we are here tonight. Self-breast examination. This is the simplest form of detecting a lump in our breast. I keep on telling people each time I give this lecture, it is my breast. I can touch it. My husband can touch it. So this is the basis for, it might be your husband that will touch it and tell you you have something there. Most of the time, our spouses can detect these things faster than us because they touch that place regularly and they know how it is. They know the texture, they know everything about it. So, self-breast examination, I say, is the most important in detecting a swelling, which I call a lump. A swelling, a lump, a tumor, they are the same thing in our breast. It is best done a week or two after our normal menstrual flow, and we encourage us to check it monthly. It is easy. It is at no cost at all. It is cheap. It's the cheapest form of screening to detect breast abnormality. To remember to do it, we pick a date. For example, my date of birth is 5th of September. That means every September 5, I will try as much as possible to check my breast for those who are no longer menstruating. For those who are no longer menstruating, which are most of us sitting down today, age 45 and above, who are no longer menstruating, just take your birth date every month and check your breast. That is it. So the day 5th of September, 5th of October, 5th of November, 5th of December, like that, we'll be checking our breast. Very easy. Other methods, we can do the breast scan, ultrasound scan to check the breast. It can be part of our normal, regular medical checkup. Let's go for the breast. Sorry, before I continue, for those who are menstruating, still menstruating, age 35, 40, 45, some people are still menstruating at 50. You move away from your menses, like about 7 days to 10 days after your menstrual period. That is when you check your breast. Why? Because during your menses, the breast is full, is lumpy, you cannot see anything. Sometimes the breast discharges when some people are menstruating. So the signs you see during menstruation can mimic a breast cancer. So that is why we advocate that you run away from that time, a week or two after your menses, to check your breast. So that is for those who are menstruating. So we can also do ultrasound scan to check the breast. And the best form of breast screening now that we have now is mammography. We have mammogram in Lutz, we have in Bagada General Hospital too. You can always, I can't remember where they have again. I don't know whether they have in General Hospital Lagos, but I'm sure about these two. Then some private hospitals. We have a 3D in Bagada, 3-dimension mammograph in Bagada. That is why Bagada bone is the latest in technology. In Lasus, I think they have the 2-dimension. So you all know where we can go to do mammogram, which I will tell you how and when to do it. Next slide, please. Next slide. For self-breast examination, you stand in front of your mirror. After you have selected your date of birth, or you are away from your menses, you now want to do it. You can ask your husband to do it for you. It's quite possible. Maram, is it what we call it? Maram can do it for us. We tell them what to do. When we do, we are still going to do this screening as part of this health week. We will share leaflets with you on how to do it, what to do. So you can give it to him to help you to do it regularly. It's quite possible. But if not, we are too busy, he's too busy, he cannot do it, there's some other things factors. Let us stand in front of our mirror. Our health should not be given to somebody else to manage. We must be in charge of our health. We must take responsibility for our health. When I started, I had Mrs. Jones talking about corona. It's still part of what I want to say too. Coronavirus, government has left it, he has passed it to us that we should take responsibility for our health. He has given us the guidelines. But for breast cancer, we should take responsibility for our health, stand in front of a mirror. There is something we call inspection. It's just looking. You look at your breast. You look at it. You can stand with your hands akimbo. That is by your side. You put your hands in your chest, or you put it up, or you put it at the back of your head, so that you're able to look at your breast very well. You look at it. You check for what are you looking for? Is there any rash? You know your breast normally. At least it is your own. You know how it is. So you want to look for anything different. Anything different. You look for skin rashes. Is there any rash? Is there anything that looks like eczema on your breast? Is there any pimple? You check for it. You use your eyes to check for it. Is there any escalation? Escalation, something like looks like a wound that is peeling off. Is there any crack in your nipple? Is your nipple breaking? You look for it. The position of your nipple, is it standing straight or it has gone inside? We call it inversion, inversion. Is it inverted? That is, it has gone inside and you know it normally comes out. Or is it inverted? It is out, standing straight. You check. You touch the nipple and try to squeeze it to bring out water. Is there any discharge? Usually, you can feel normal discharge, milky discharge, or bloody discharge, depending on what you feel. Most of the time, the nipple, if you are not lactating and you are not in your menses, there should be no discharge from your nipple, except you have some other medical conditions that can cause lactation of the nipple. But you check, after checking the nipple, you try to lift up your hand. You want to raise up your hand and you expect the two breasts to move together simultaneously. You are still looking at the mirror. You expect two breasts to move together simultaneously. If they don't, you note the one that is lagging. One will be lagging behind. You note the disparity. Which one is lagging behind? It is lagging because there is a weight inside it, different from the other one that is free. So that is another way. You look critically. Is one sluggish in moving? If it is, you notice. Then you go to palpation. Palpation, you want to touch your breast. You divide the breast into 4 quadrants and you palpate with the back of your hand. Each quadrant clockwise, round, and end up at the center, the nipple area. So each zone you divide into 4, palpate without lifting up your hand. You let the motion continue smoothly with the back of your hand on your breast without lifting it up. If you lift it up, you have missed the tumor. Because by the time you lift it up, you want to go back, you have missed some part of the breast. You look for lumps. You look for any cragginess. You touch again for cragginess. If it is craggy, it is not smooth. The breast tissue is not smooth. It is craggy. You notice. You touch it. Can you feel any dimple or pimple? Are there any cracks? You look for nipple discharge too. That's why you touch. You squeeze your nipple when blood is coming out or what is coming out, if anything is coming out. Once you detect your abnormality, you run to your doctor. Next slide, please. Simple screening helps to detect breast cancer when it is small. That is what we just did, the self-breast examination. When it is small and it has not spread, we are able to detect it. It is also easier to treat, and this prevents death from breast cancer. Once you discover any lumpiness or any lump or any from your self-breast examination, and you run to your doctor, the doctor will check you properly and will ask you to go and do some other tests to confirm. And the definitive diagnostic treatment is to remove the lump. Once there is anything in a body that is not abnormal, we remove it. So they will remove it. They will send it to me as the histopathologist to test and tell them whether it is benign or it is malignant, whether it is a tumor that will not cause any problem in future, or whether it is cancer is the malignant one. So it helps to prevent and prevent death from breast cancer. Simple screening. Age. It is usually common in women greater than 40 years. Because it is greater in women more than 40 years, we encourage yearly screening for women between 40 and 45 years. You can use mammogram if you wish. You can come to the doctor to test you. You can do ultrasound scan of the breast, but we encourage you to check it yearly. If you come to me, you do it, there is nothing, you come again next year. You check yearly. But for 45 to 54 years age, which is the age bracket that I fall in, we do mammogram. Once in a year, it is mandatory. Once you are in good health, and it is also important for high-risk women. You do mammogram yearly. It is not whether you like it or not. It is compulsory. I'm not encouraging you. I encourage in the first age less than 40 or between 40 to 45 years. I encourage you to do mammogram. But for 45 to 54 years, mandatorily, you should do mammogram once in a year, especially for women who have history of breast cancer in their family, for women who are obese, for women who are on bad diet. Those are the people at risk that we expect them to do mammogram once in a year. So I said, especially for those with family history, I've said that. There are some people with genetic mutations. They have a normal cell, but exposure after being born to some factors, environmental factors, like I said earlier, it could be people working in that industry, people working in asbestos, for prolonged occupational history, bad occupational history. We tell the doctor, if you come to me, I ask you, where do you work? What do you do? If you tell me, I'll be able to classify you as somebody with occupational history of cancer. Those who work with benzene, they are likely able to have. Those who work in radiation areas, our radiologists, radiographers, those who work in anywhere that there is heavy radiation. That is why they give us a tag. I'm not a radiologist, but I know there is a tag to tell us the maximum radiation that we can be exposed to. So we should endeavor to check by way of doing mammogram if we have all this. This occupational history can lead to genetic mutation. Genetic mutation is a change in our cells in the body. After God has created us, some things we are exposed to, we change the cells and they become cancerous. So we are at risk. We do not know, but if we know that we are working in those areas that are exposed, we should check our body for cancers generally. We should do screening for all forms of cancer generally. Other risk factors I've highlighted earlier: smoking, alcohol ingestion, obesity, all of them, they are at risk factors that will enable us, if we have it, to do mammogram. But for other at-risk people, we encourage mammogram. In addition, we encourage MRI. MRI is magnetic resonance imaging. So this is the most sophisticated screening method for those who are at risk, those with genetic mutations, those with family history, those that have, we encourage them, we admonish them, we recommend that they do mammogram plus magnetic resonance imaging, which we call MRI. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So I will, because of time factor, I will just, that is the little I will say about breast cancer. I've told you the risk factors, the way we can detect it, what to do when we detect it. Treatment I will leave for towards the end, because it is the doctor eventually that will initiate the treatment. But for this purpose, we want to know the preventive measures, what women should do about women cancer. We should leave a matter for Matthias, treatment for the doctor. Cervical cancer, I go straight to cervical cancer. Cervical cancer is caused by chronic infection by a certain type of human papilloma virus. We call it HPV. It is not only coronavirus that is deadly. We have a lot of deadly viruses that we are living with. The only snag about it is that they take time. They don't manifest as fast as coronavirus. But then they are still deadly and they still kill every day. Human papilloma virus is one of them. And it is the most important risk factor known today for cervical cancer in women. Other risk factors include intimate skin-to-skin contact, such as vaginal, anal, or oral sex. This is manifesting via human papilloma virus infestation, skin-to-skin contact, vaginal sex, anal sex, oral sex, and via human papilloma virus infestation lead to cervical cancer. Also, immunosuppression. If you are in any immunosuppressive state, somebody in the hospital with debility that cannot fight for itself, especially for human papilloma virus. This is the topic I used for my dissertation that made me a consultant in histopathology, cervical cancer screening. For human papilloma virus, so I want to delve a little bit into it. For human papilloma virus, the history, the cause of it takes like 15 to 25 years after it has infected us before it manifests. The graph is like that. When you get infected with the virus, because we have good immunity in our body now, our body defense fights with the virus and kill it for us. That is auto kill. That imbibed that in us, alhamdulillah. So once the virus enters our body, God has so made it that our body defense will fight it, and we will not have clinical manifestation. So I want to tell all of us sitting today, whether you are a man or you are a woman, that you are not 6 years old, and you are not even for 6 years old, we have seen that there is sexual molestation now. There is rape in 2 years, in 3 years. So maybe when we talk again now, in any discussion again, the age range will go back to maybe 2 years. But for the purpose of today, those ones are abnormal things. But for the normal situation, all of us sitting listening here, except for our children that are sitting beside us, all of us, we have human papilloma virus in our bodies, start. But why are we not having cervical cancer? It's because the good Lord has made it that He's clearing it away from our body. Because we eat well, we sleep well, we use our medications regularly. We eat the right type of food that will boost our immunity. So our the body self-defense or defense of the body is killing the human papillomavirus in our body every day. But be that as it may, the body defense cannot attack all of them. Some of these viruses will escape from our body defense system for the body attacker. The antibody that God has made in our body to fight any form of infection. Some will escape. Some will escape. Like they will say, never say never. Some will escape and move on. The next stage of proliferation. Our body will still attack at that next stage. Some will still, so it will take series of years. It can take 20 or 25 years, between a period of 15 to 25 years. So you can imagine, you are exposed to human papillomavirus at your first sexual contact at age 25. It is going down now. Some people are exposed at age 18. Some people age 12. It is and the body is fighting it for you, fight until a point in time. The body cannot fight again. The virus has grown to become cancer. So it takes like 25 years. That is why we say that it occurs in advanced ages when you are old. 25 plus 25 is 50. 25 plus 15 is 40. So from age 40, you start manifesting the symptoms and signs of cervical cancer. So that is why, that is the basis for the screening and prevention of cervical cancer. So I have to explain that for us. Other factors like smoking, overweight, obesity, they all contribute to cervical cancer in our body. Presence of chlamydia infection is also important. If you don't treat chlamydia infection very well and it retains in your body, it can lead on to progression or progress to cervical cancer. Exposure to certain hormonal treatment, especially while you are trying to treat breast cancer. There are some drugs you give that will cause cervical cancer, make you to be at risk to cervical cancer. You see why you must not have any of these cancers. Because once you have one, you can have the other. Then your body is already ready to have any insult and manifest as cancer. Also, for people that are not having regular cervical cancer screening, they can develop cervical cancer just like that because they have not been screened themselves. That is why we must always ensure that we take opportunity when we see any free screening exercise, even if it is not free, we should latch on to it and leave whatever we are doing to make sure self first. We should treat ourselves first because it's only when we are alive that we can do some other ad hoc oversight functions. We should be selfish about our health and seek for medical help in form of screening. May Allah not let us have any form of cancer for that matter. Next slide, please. For cervical cancer, I will still go on because this question might come in later. Okay, can you come down? Come down, come down. You are going up. There are still some things up. Who's ready? I still have some bullets up. Mr. Noibi. No, but go on. Next. Okay, if that is it. American Cancer Society, which I will call ACS for this presentation, they recommend routine vaccination for boys and girls within the ages of 9 to 12. Because at this age, we don't expect our children to be exposed to cervical cancer because they are still in their, well, things are changing. But in those days, age 9, if you are not raped, if there is no form of abuse, you expect her to be a virgin. But once the semen is broken by the male genitalia, you can be rest assured human papilloma virus is already sitting in that body. But for young age, human papilloma virus is in both sexes. And we have postulated that women get it from men. That is just it. From age 9 to 12, we recommend 3 doses of the vaccine, Hpv vaccine. This is by way of prevention. Children and young adults of age 13 to 26 should be vaccinated for purpose of this discussion now. If this is the first time you are hearing it, and your child is age 13 to 26, vaccinate them as soon as possible. But before you do that, you have to do Hpv testing to check whether they have the virus or not. If they have the virus, you treat the virus before you do vaccination. But if the virus is absent, you vaccinate them 3 doses as well. Vaccination at younger ages will help prevent cancers that manifest at older ages. Regular screening, because the organs involved are easily accessible. That is the most important thing. They said God does not give you something without giving us a defense. Almighty Allah that gave us the breast and knows that we can have cancer, made the breast to be accessible to us. It is outside, you can see it. Gave us the cervix, unique to us, but he loves us. This area of the cervix is accessible to the doctor.
Ma, you may want to run.
But not for some other cancers. So regular screening can help prevent cervical cancer. You can do the pap smear. You can do the human papilloma virus testing. We call it Hpv DNA testing. Pap smear, as an histopathologist, I do it regularly in Bagada. It is the first and the widely accepted method of screening for cervical and some other cancers when we get to it. But now we have human papilloma virus testing, Hpv DNA testing, which is easily available in Lagos. So we should not, for any reason, after listening to this lecture, feign ignorance of PAP or Hpv testing. Hpv DNA testing can be done, to the best of my knowledge, from where I trained, Lagos University Teaching Hospital. Professor Banjo, Adebukola Banjo, is the specialist. That's the area. We call her Mama Savita. He does Hpv DNA testing regularly at LUT. We are still hoping we will start doing it too in Lagos State Hospital. Next slide, please.
I will advise that you start rounding up now. Our time is fast spent.
All right, no problem. You gave me a topic for 2 days in 30 minutes. I think I've said the most important aspect of the cancer.
Hello, ma. Are you there? All right, I guess she was actually running off already. Alaja Bakari, do we see Abby there? Dr. Bakari, ma?
Hello. I'm still here.
Okay.
I want to round up. Do you want me to round up?
Yes, ma'am.
So can the screen share go to my conclusion? I have 26 slides. I think I've said, I don't know, maybe move to my last slide, conclusion. So in conclusion, I want to tell us that all cancers are fatal, and early detection via regular screening exercises can reduce the incidence and mortality that can arise from most of them. Some people can tell me we do screening, we still see it. There are some other factors that are getting. So we keep on saying never, saying never. A knowledge of cancers generally, like we are doing today, is very important and will go a long way to decrease mortality from the canker worm called cancer. Thank you. Next slide. Thank you for listening. Salam alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Salam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar Kebira. We thank our doctor for this wonderful lecture.
Don't see my face.
We wish to see your face. We wish to
you have muted the video.
Can spare the host kindly help to enable Alaja's video, please. We appreciate you. This is interesting. This is exposing and educating. Thank you so much. May Allah reward abundantly. May He continue to you and continue to use it for His name, inshallah. We are going to question and answer now, and probably some of the things you're not able to mention, you can just come up in the question and answer. So the first question I had here earlier was posted to me that a question say, please, can you hear me, ma? What are the first signs of having cancer? That is, if you what are the signs you will see to know that you're having cancer? Which cancer is most common in females? That's the first question. I think I want to ask all the questions once so that I can take what are the first signs of having cancer and which is most common.
Can you come again? Can you come again?
What? Okay, can you? The first question now says, what are the first signs of having cancer? You notice that will make you having cancer. There's signs. Then that same question says, which cancer is most common in females? The most common in females. That's the first question. I hope you've taken that.
Sorry, I've taken it on my head because my Bible is not working now.
Okay.
But I think I get that question.
Okay, can I go on, ma?
Go on.
Right, ma. The next question says, can we have a practical demo of how to maybe that will be done at the end of you saying that? And also, can we have the copy of this presentation? That is another question. So that one is kind of request anyway. Then the next one says, has never been pregnant before, was having discharge of milk from the breast. What can she do?
Okay.
Did you get someone that has never been pregnant before is having a discharge?
Okay.
Milk discharge. So, and is and the last question here is, what of if people have the pain in the breast and the doctor gives pain relief? I hope the person is fine. Thank you, ma'am. So if you are having pains on the breast, does that lead to cancer, or the person can be rest assured that it's just an ordinary pain? So those are
the breast.
Pain on the breast.
Pain. Last question.
Yes, ma'am. That's the last question.
That's the last question. Okay, I will start from the last question. If you are pain in the breast, can be due to a lot of factors, but you still need to go and see your doctor. They will examine you. They will try to rule out the cause of the pain by asking you to do a lot of investigations to know what is causing the pain. Doctors are not magicians, so we must go through the normal process of checking. They will touch, they will feel. The pain can be due to a lot of things, cancer inclusive, but it's not limited to cancer. It can be due to a cyst that is infected. If you have any form of infection, inflammation, there will be pain. I've had it before. Sometimes when you are lactating, your child can bite on your nipple, and that one can be infected because there is a debridement, we call it. There is a break in the skin. Your nipple, there's a break. Once there's a break, bacteria will quickly run to it. The normal body flora bacteria will get there and they become infective. They are normal before when there is no break in the skin. But when there's a break in the skin from any form of insult to the breast, it will be inflamed, it will cause pain. You might not know, or you might not remember. Any form of trauma to the breast, if they hit you in the breast, or if you hit yourself on the breast, it can cause pain, which is not necessarily cancer, but you still have to go to the hospital for the doctor to rule it out for you. That is it for pain in the breast. I will just take it anyhow, the way I remember. My barrel is not functioning, and nobody to bring the barrel for me. The other question, the first question has been addressed in my topic. My sister that asked that question, I don't want to say it. You said Dr. Bakare is too harsh. You are not listening. I said breast cancer is the commonest form of cancer in female worldwide. I think that's the question you asked. What is the commonest cancer in women?
Yes, ma'am.
There are some other cancers that are in women and men, and that occur more in women than in men. But for purpose of this discussion, we are not taking them because they are not unique to women. They are cancers generally. So if you are talking of colorectal, liver cell carcinoma, cancer of the brain, cancer of the leg, cancer of anywhere, we do epidemiology. Some of them we see more in women than in men, occurring in the same organ in both of us. But by virtue of some other things that we do, women have them more. You don't have the time to listen to all of them. So let me limit myself to breast cancer in America or in Nigeria. Whether you are low resource or high resource area, whether you have facility to treat or you don't have facility to treat, breast cancer today is the commonest cancer in women. I think I answered that question. Sorry, can you remind us that question?
Yes, ma'am. You answered that. Someone requested for practical demonstration of
practical demonstration, very easy. I have said it. I say during this course of Women's Week, I have solicited for my women affairs secretary, Alaja Kukolati, and she has acceded to my request. If not for the fact that it is virtual, we are supposed to give this lecture and immediately go and screen and treat or go and screen all women present, be it at the Asalatu Lausa, with breast cancer. But alhamdulillah, with Mrs. Kukolati, Alaja Kukolati, and NASFAT women, to come and screen for us. I think it's 2 Sundays from now. Not this Sunday because of our program, but next week Sunday for better preparation. We are next Sunday. That is 2 Sundays. Not this Sunday. We are going to screen how to do self-breast examination. I've tried to give you the process. You read this process very well, and you see it when we demonstrate in Asalatu. And George is part of us. Elijah Salahuddin is also there. They are ready to start. They will teach all of us breast self-examination or self-breast examination.
All right, man. Someone that never given birth before and having a mixed on her breast.
Yeah, before, and it's inside. I want to believe Dr. Otu is there. And if Dr. Otu is around, I'll take your indulgence now to answer this question. This is Alhamdulillah, and she's part of us. We should give not woman or due. I know she will be there. Now, Dr. Otu, she's not around. Okay. If you are deciding without, it could be an hormonal factor. There are some hormones in the brain. When they fire too much, can lead to lactation. So you do some tests, you do some hormonal tests. They will see. So when you have hyperprolactinemia, that is the hormone that aids lactation. That is what is in our body generally. But when you have it, the brain fires. It will be due to a tumor in the brain. It could be due to anything. It will manifest as lactation. You go to the doctor, the specialist. I'm not a gynecologist. I'm a pathologist. I learn about gynecology, surgery, medicine, and specialty. But I will tell the specialist, they know what to do. You go to them. I know a bit about everything. I know too much. A bit. Too much about everything. So, I refer you to Dr. For that of lactating or discharging from your breast without being pregnant or had your child, having the I hope I've settled that question.
Thank you so much, You've lectured us and the ex-secretary NASFAT they go to school. So please come to appreciate our mother for the wonderful lecture. My mother, please. Kindly unmute yourself. You've been given permission to talk. Kindly unmute
Can you hear me? I want to say Alhamdulillah, 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 Rabbi Alameen. We've all learned one thing or the other, and if we allow our consultant to speak for the next 5 hours, I'm actually sure and on this note, we have learned one thing or the other, which we all gain from. I want to say Jazakumullahu khairan to her mother, and may Allah in His infinite mercy accept this as an act of ibadah, here and in the hereafter. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continue to bestow more knowledge on her as she continues in the barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Thank you so much, Alaja Mahmuda. I don't know, this is post. But the next question, the next program is a photo thing from the SONA, so one ex-secretary, Alaja Basira Daramola. I'm not sure if Alaja Basira Daramola is here with us, and if she's online here, I'm not sure she's with us. So if she's not with us, Alaja Mahmuda, can you still please help us to appreciate everyone that is here present for this program?
Yes. We want to appreciate our moderator and the organizer of this program. We say Jazakumullahu Khaira. To our first presenter, we say Jazakumullahu Khaira. And to all our mothers of Al-Jannah, we want to appreciate every one of us for taking time out of no time to attend to this program. And to our second lecturer, the National Health Secretary, Alaja Dr. Bakari, we appreciate you. And to everybody that have participated in one way or the other, to even our coordinator, Alaja Salaudin, we appreciate each and every one of us, and we say, Jazakumullahu Khairan. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullahu khairan, Alaja Mahmuda. And for this, on this note, what we have next is our closing prayer, inshallah. And on this note, I want to call on, I want to believe our daddy is still very much with us here. That is CM. Our daddy CM, I want to believe is still very much with us, and if it's not, I'll call on Alaja Onike to please give us a. So if our Sheikh is still here with us, we appreciate to hear his voice once again. But if he's not, Alaja Sadia Onike will give us a closing prayer. And you've been given the right to speak, and unmute yourself now, Ma. You've been asked to unmute yourself now, Ma. Alaja Sadiat Onike, are you with us, Ma? Okay, if you cannot get hold of her, can I have Mommy Alaja Fauzia Oladoja to please help us with this closing prayer? You've been allowed to talk now, Ma, and you can unmute yourself. Do we have Alaja Oladoja?
Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Am I on?
You're on, Ma.
Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah, 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 rabbil alamin. We thank Allah, we glorify Him, we adore Him, we praise Him for this opportunity, for yet another opportunity of witnessing the 21st Women's Week that we started yesterday. We praise that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us in whatever we do now and after the period. We thank all those that have made it possible to be here with us. We say, Jazakallah khairan, may Allah bless every one of us. Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Rahmanir rahim. Zina alayhim. المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. آمين. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون والسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Thank you so much. And to everyone who has made this possible, we say Jazakumullah khairan to you all. Thank you so much for taking your time to be part of this wonderful program. You are all highly appreciated. On behalf of the organizing committee and the chairperson, Alhaji Aziz Asalaudeen, we say thank you. And on behalf of the women's secretary, we say Jazakumullah khairan. Thank you so much for being part of this program. May Allah reward you all abundantly. We wish you all a very pleasant night rest and see you again tomorrow. I promise you're going to enjoy it as much as you enjoyed today, and it's going to be educating as well. Thank you so much and have a wonderful night rest.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.